At one time or another during the pandemic, we have all felt isolated and powerless. But as many of us have discovered, we can help one another. In fact, there are many creative, caring, and compassionate ways people are showing up for each other and checking in on elderly neighbors or expressing gratitude to frontline healthcare workers. Those are among them. But did you know that these simple acts of service not only benefit others, but they actually benefit your health? Dr. Hilary Nash with HCA Midwest Health joins us now. Dr. Nash, what would you say is the easiest way to give back during this time?
You know, the times in which we find ourselves are kind of fraught with anxiety and fear and division. And so trying to look for ways to kind of change our thinking, to focus in on healthier thought patterns. A big part of that is looking around and figuring out how can we bless people around us and how can we give back to the community around us. You know, we can see people in our neighborhoods, in our workplaces. We can see them even on the streets when we're driving around town, people that are in need of a helping hand. And so I think a good place to start is just looking in our close social circles for people who could use encouragement. I think even kind of in your neighborhood, looking around for elderly people that would love to have a handmade card or some type of artwork that your child could make, people that we know that are sick, offering to bring them a meal, dropping it off on their front step so that you're not increasing the risk of any exposure, but you're able to let them know that you are aware of what's going on and you care. I think looking for even opportunities of people that we don't know that we might see in the community, like having care packages in our cars that have some type of basic toiletry items, maybe a gift card to a grocery store, things that are easily accessible that when you see someone that's in need, you can just hand it to them and it's already ready to go.
And we know volunteering is an essential part of bringing a community together. So how does that also benefit our own health?
Well, we know that there are all kinds of chemicals and neurotransmitters and different things in our bodies that kind of keep our health in balance and our mental health in balance. And when we are kind of focused in on a lot of negativity and a lot of negative thoughts, then it can change that chemistry. I tell my patients all the time that we can create these well-worn paths in our brains that we have a trigger and it automatically goes down that same path over and over again. And those aren't necessarily always healthy. So retraining our thinking that instead of going down some of those unhealthy thought patterns, we can go down healthier ones. Like, for example, how can I look around for people that are in need? How can I use my special gifts and talents that I have to try and bless other people or to try to help other people? Actually changes the chemistry that happens in our own bodies and can be very healthy and very helpful.
What advice can you offer parents to keep the conversation of wellness going on with their children, especially as the school year starts?
You know, I think the key sentence there that you mentioned is keeping the conversation going. If we are not being intentional about developing significant relationships and authentic relationships with our kids, then the conversation never even gets started. There is lots and lots of data and research about the significance of dinner with families, and screens aren't invited to our dinners at our family. We kind of have a habit that we do this thing called highs and lows. And so we can have everybody go around and everybody gives kind of the highlight of their day and the lowest point in their day. And that way we kind of use, you know, practice makes perfect, continuing to talk about significant things going on in our lives and not just superficial conversations makes a difference in our relationships with our kids.
Dr. Nash reminds us all that the most effective way to stop the COVID surge in our region is for people to get a COVID vaccine as soon as possible. For more information, go to HCAMidwest.com.